Ghana Means Business, brought to you by GOIL. GOIL, good energy.
Ghana Means Business. Your story, our message.
Mpanimfoɔ say asɛm kɛseɛ ba franka ensi so, meaning when life-changing issues or programs or events that have a transformational nature are coming, they give no forewarning. Early in 2020, the coronavirus epidemic, which has now become a global pandemic, weaved its way into planet Earth. It has now become deadlier than anticipated, causing the entire world to come to a halt and bringing global nations on their knees. We have to be conscious of the mode of transmission and take precautionary measures, as His Excellency, the President of the land, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has directed that no social gatherings, no traditional settings, no church congregations, or any social events, whether public or private, should take place during the period that he has announced that Ghanaians should refrain from commuting. You are warmly welcome once again to your most trusted show, Ghana Means Business, the program that provides the authentic pulse on business, investment, and the economic climate of Ghana. Today on the show, we will show you, among other things, and discuss with you the coronavirus epidemic and whether, as Ghanaians always want to do, add a spiritual connotation or a spiritual dimension to it. And is this really something for doctors or the medical profession, or is it for the pastors and the priests to have a spiritual connotation to that? You don't want to miss this show. This show promises to be revealing and insightful. Your host, Nana Fredua Agyeman, Pambuo.
Ghana Means Business. Your story, our message.
Every now and again, GOIL makes good things happen. This time, GOIL has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with GOIL Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. GOIL has that sorted. GOIL, good energy.
Ghana Means Business. Your story, our message.
Welcome once again, Reverend Dr. Kwabena Opuni-Frimpong.
And I'm grateful to be here.
It's a tragedy we can't shake hands due to this coronavirus, which seems to have created such an epidemic. Yeah. But all the same, Reverend, 31st December, what started as a little known pneumonia virus in Wuhan province in China was reported by the World Health Organization in China. Now, this virus, this coronavirus, which is named or is translated into English, crown virus, is it the end time? Is this really going to replace mankind, or is it something biblical that we don't know about?
Yes, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here on Ghana Means Business. In the recent years, the world, we've witnessed outbreaks of all manner of diseases. We have seen recently HIV and AIDS. We have seen Ebola, but this coronavirus is presenting a challenge that is very, very uncomfortable. The fact that the big market, consider them to be very developed, advanced, whether in medicine, in economics, whatever, have been hit very hard. You know, you are talking about US, you have Italy in mind, China, and therefore those of us, Ghana and Africa, you know, quickly, you know that we are not in ordinary times. One of the things that those of us in religion, faith people, may not want to do is a matter of over-spiritualizing the challenge.
So there's no spiritual dimension to this.
And what that means is that Jesus talked about end-time challenges, yes. But the moment we use a particular indicator to conclude that now that we have a challenge that is hitting everybody hard, like the coronavirus, then this is. But there are signs of the end times. But we may need to position ourselves in such a way that we don't frustrate the professionals. Because the moment you conclude that we are in the end times, then what can the medical people do? Then they better flow with the time. So yes, we are having signs of the end times, but we must also be very careful that we don't become emphatic that yes, we are there, else we will destroy some part of us.
Reverend, why is it that faith leaders sometimes for the sake of commercial gain would want to take people who need medical attention from hospitals like the coronavirus and try and sell them some kind of water, anointing oil, preaching? I'm sure right now there are so many prayer camps springing up in remote parts of Ghana where people are creating so much panic and fear. I'm sure you are aware of these things. How do we deal with this?
Yes, now we may have one or two bad nuts in the system, but sometimes we must also be very careful that we don't discourage the others, because we have churches that are into health delivery, hospital, clinics, even.
I agree.
Yes, but we may have one or two that are going the direction you are raising, which is factual.
That is the one I want to dwell on.
And yes, it's not only in matters of religion. It can be in politics. Even there are people that in this difficult moment, you know, want to take undue advantage, whether they are selling sanitizers, whatever. There are politicians, if we don't take we want to take undue advantage of the challenges, you know. So there are people who always want to benefit from the dehumanization, the challenges, disadvantage, which is unfortunate. It's in religion, but it's somewhere else. But at the same time, we have good people with good will, who mean very well. And in times like this, we need to, while we talk about those who are not doing things right, for instance, now the medical people, frontline people, we must encourage them. But let me also say that indeed, some of our friends, you know, now, ever since the president raised this issue that we should, those of us who bring huge numbers together, there are questions people are asking. Sometimes you ask yourself, why this? If I get a pastor who is saying, but what about my offertory? You know, as if
the commercial gain.
Yes, but what's the issue you are raising? You need a healthy nation to produce a healthy church. So if the people in the country are not healthy, your priority should not be your offertory.
Reverend, I would beseech you on this program to address those who are looking at this as an opportunistic time to be able to get commercial gain. What is your message to your fellow pastors at this time?
Yes, we are not living in ordinary times. We are living in a difficult time, unfortunately though. And therefore, this is the time we must hold ourselves together as church and church people, strengthen the faith of our members. But pastors must go beyond their personal comfort. Leadership is more than personal comfort. You know, so this is not a time for us to ask questions about church leaders, our personal comfort. If anything at all, we must ask questions about how do we keep Ghana safe? How do we keep Ghana healthy? That must be our priority. And I'm using this platform of Ghana Means Business to plead with colleagues. Let's abide by the instruction the president has given to us. But above all, if need be, we must rather sacrifice for the sake of the health of our country. But we should not ask questions about how do we get what always we have been receiving. If Ghana stayed healthy, we will have our church, we'll have our offertory.
That is, really appreciate that, because I think this is very important. Again, on the most topical and relevant issue of the day, coronavirus, do you think as a nation, as a people, are we prepared? Have we changed the paradigm in terms of our hygiene, our markets, our transportation, the way we still greet? Have we really been educated, and are we aware of the dangers of this coronavirus?
Yeah, no. Initially, when this challenge started in China, it was like China affair. And then some started recording, once, just one. And now the story has changed. It's no more China story, it's no more Italy story. Now it's everywhere. And that is the clue. We must learn from that it should not just even be, it's only 6. It's only 7. They have just added 2. It should not be like that. We need a more comprehensive approach. And maybe the starting point is what the president has done, that let us reduce, bringing huge numbers together. But it seems to me that the frontline people, the medical people, one must be given space to do what they have to do. And we must be serious with them. The public education. Now you still find people who are, sorry to say, spitting from cars.
Yes.
If we get to a point where we must keep people indoors, what is happening in Italy at the moment, where US is getting to. Now, our part of the world, there are homes without bathrooms. You have the whole compound house with maybe one toilet. Some even don't have it. They walk some distance to the nearest toilet. There are homes without running water. The people go out to fetch water. So when you want to quarantine people in Ghana, how are you going to do it? You see, so there's a level we must do whatever we can as a people to avoid that we don't get there. Because if we get there, if US is complaining about hospital beds and other things, if Italy is complaining, if Spain is complaining, then we must quickly answer the question that if we get there, what will happen? This is a battle we must win.
Absolutely.
Ghana, in fact, Africa, everybody, we must win. But this, our country, we must fight it together and win. And win. We must fight this battle and win, because some of the things people are doing in their countries, if we are asked, now for instance, the US is saying, stay at home and work from home, we will pay you. They are distributing checks. Now, if you ask...
$700 a week.
In fact, if you ask the formal sector, people to work from the house, yes. But if you go to Nanano, your village, Baba village, and ask the farmers to work from home, what does it mean to work from home?
They'll go and weed their cassava
How do you do it?
in their
How
bedrooms.
do you tell tomato pepper seller that work from home? What does it mean?
Based on the president's directive, the time is going to eat into what we will have allotted for our Easter, which have been, I think, from the 10th of April onwards. Now, the question is, for Christians, what is the significance of Easter? I mean, can't we say, okay, this year we'll not celebrate Easter and then we'll do it next year? What is the significance?
Yes, and that is one option. In fact, now in some countries, they have decided that they will cancel 2020 Easter.
Okay.
But I'm a Presbyterian. There are other churches also, Presbyterians, and in Canada, St. Andrews, South Korea, Presbyterian Church, and many more, but I'm using my own Presbyterian, who have come together that we will only postpone. We will wait, and when the atmosphere is better, we will come back.
But is Easter, for a Christian, is Easter the most significant or one of the most significant celebrations as a Christian? What is the significance of it? The central message of Christianity is Christ and his sacrifices and the reconciliation work, the atonement that he came to offer. For God so loved the world that he gave his son. But that love is manifested in the whole Easter event. So, if you like, this is the climax, the birth and the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. But again,
we are not in ordinary times. So what I will suggest is that church leaders, Christian leaders, heads of churches, come together and give a direction. The direction can be, let us use the modern day media, Facebook, others, to celebrate 2020 Easter. Or the president gave 1 month. Let us wait at the end of the month when they review, and the review suggests that we can bring ourselves together. Then either in May, June, we can still celebrate Good Friday and the Resurrection Sunday and then the Easter Monday, But we should not let Ghanaians be in suspense. We should not leave the ordinary Christian hanging. Are we celebrating Easter or not? And, that heads of churches must quickly come together and give leadership. So that it's not like the president said, we are not going to worship on Sunday, and therefore everything, and we don't have answers. We should have answers. What do we do for 2020 Easter? And that's what I'm saying. We must learn from best practices. In some countries, they are saying that, in fact, South Africa, some churches are saying we will not bring ourselves together, but we will do Easter online.
Okay.
But there are others also, like I mentioned, in South Korea and Canada, many more, who are saying that we are only suspending after review, and we are giving the green light that now the atmosphere is better, you can come, but maybe come with caution. We will have our Easter. So we need leadership, we need direction, and our leaders must quickly come together and tell the ordinary people. And it should also not be disjointed. Catholic is doing this, and this coronavirus, yes, a challenge, but it should not break our front, it should not weaken us. So we must still keep our unity. Catholic, Pentecostal, all of us must celebrate Christian as a nation, a united people. And that is why some conversation must go on among leaders.
Ghana Means Business. Your story, our message.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Go Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Go Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Go Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Go Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Ghana Means Business. Your story, our message.
Reverend, on an issue that I know you enjoy speaking about, this year's election, the theme or the focus is free, fair, transparent, credible, and peaceful elections. A tall task, a beautiful task. But as Ghanaians, what must we do to ensure that these high-sounding 5 words, which will demonstrate our maturity, are achieved?
Yeah, we thank God, we are coming from somewhere. If you look at our political trajectory, we have had such challenges from independence, especially the military bit of our history, political history, and now we are under democracy. Our democracy must mature, must grow. And it must grow in attitude, it must grow in structure, it must grow also by even how the leadership handle issues. We have had challenges with voter register over the years. And then also issue-based, what Ghanaians base on to vote. These issues have confronted us for some time now. And registrar, it's like we are not learning. We are not learning because who qualify to vote in Ghana is very clear in the Constitution in terms of age, resident, nationality, and all that. These things are very clear. Then you have political leaders who are supposed to give leadership, who will bus people, minors, people from Togo, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, and allow them to register for whatever reason. Then they go around and tell everybody the voter register is bloated. We don't like it. And you get others who will say we like it. And then they start the trouble. And when they do that, they are able to push us to a corner that the national conversation on election is on peace, let's avoid bloodshed, time that we should be discussing issues. Now you have peace industry, everybody is talking about peace, 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 and people go and they vote. Sometimes I say, what are you voting for? Oh, he's from our community. Oh, he looks nice. Don't you know this person is handsome or beautiful and all that? Schoolmate, classmate kind of thing.
Tribesman.
And now we finish and people start complaining about their roads, complaining about water, and you realize that people voted without seriously considering the issues. But after voting, then the issues start confronting them and they will start crying. So to me, the issue of credibility, not only of voter register, but credibility of the leaders and the process must be protected. If we are asking, what do we need to do? We must have leaders who credible voter register will be produced by credible leaders.
So can we have a credible voters register?
And that question, Nana Kwame Opuni-Frimpong, had a song,
the great musician.
It's a story about two animals who had a meeting, and one asking, will you survive? And the response of Minyankwa, if you see, if and in fact, if you be MPP and DC, the two leading, if they will guarantee us credibility that they will not mobilize minors to vote, they will not bus foreign nationals to be part of our process. If you are not living in this residence, they will not manipulate the system. Normally, what they do is when you hear NDC complaining that go to Bantama, look at what NPP is doing, the very thing they are complaining in Bantama, they are doing the same thing at Ketu South. When you hear NPP complaining, go to Ho Central, look at what NDC is doing, the very thing they are complaining, they are doing it at Inshiaiso.
The issue of corruption. Recently, you had Apostle Eric Kwabena Opuni-Frimpong. He spoke about corruption. What is the issue between Christianity or people of faith and their personal habits, especially when it comes to corruption?
Maybe Nana, we must thank God for the church. The situation might have been worse.
Really?
Oh, sure. If,
with the current, as bad as it is.
I am convinced about that if we had not had even what the churches have been doing, maybe the situation would have been terrible. It would have been terrible. But we still have a long way to go. That's what I hear you saying. But the corruption fight, sometimes the impression is those, especially in government.
No.
But now you have parents, their children are writing BEC, that level, junior high. You have parents whose children are WASI, West Africa Examination, that level, who are corrupting their children. Parents who will maneuver how they do it, I don't know, but find examination questions for their children. And the children know that. There was a story where a child went to school during examination and the teacher was doing the mock, getting them ready. And this child raised a hand and said, teacher, sir, all this kind of thing you are talking, they will not come. These are the things that will come. And lo and behold, what that child asked the teacher to prepare them, because these are the things exactly.
Maybe the child was a prophet.
Oh, or beyond. That is, you see, you get parents who are corrupting the minds, innocent mind of children. So we should not make the corruption fight at the higher governmental level, but it
is now at the kindergarten level.
Yes, and we must be worried that if we handle our children that way, then the future we are having, You see, that's other levels. And our electoral system is also fueling the corruption. Now, we are about to go through the season. There are people who have determined that by the end of the 2020 election, they will finish roofing their building. And it starts from the primaries. There are people, if you don't give them the money, even if you are the angel who has just dropped, you will not go through. You see, so there are people who have determined that they will milk these people who want to stand as MPs, and they have also accepted it. So some have started distributing bicycle, motorbikes. Some will go to extent of even distributing cards. Knowing how much a member of parliament is paid in this country. And now you tell people that you can, if we are going to vote for you at primaries or whatever level, you give us Aboboya, you give us Car Prado, and you put this into our mind. And you know you can't sustain it. So you wake up in the morning and the long queue, somebody is there for funeral money, some are there, some even going to marry, they want a member of parliament to give them money for their weddings. You have given us that impression.
Brings me to my final and most important point, Reverend, as if you took it out of me. Do we have legacy-minded people manning the helm of affairs?
Nana, if you look at the Dr. Esther Oklu's, the Piaminkes, if you look at people who have gone ahead of us,
70s.
And we want to learn from
those
their
are
stories.
People in the 70s.
Nana, but they've laid a foundation
Absolutely.
for us. And we must learn as a country. Our young people must learn.
But most people, if you look at the millennials, most of them were born after the 1990s. The people you are referring to had their industries in the 70s and maybe early 80s. And since that time, the GhMeansBiz of this world, the Piaminkes, the Poku Transports, the Sians, all those people are no longer alive, and their monuments, their foundations have been dismantled by successive governments because of political expediency.
We need to revisit
such somehow people. We lost it.
We need to revisit this cherished part of
We don't have that. We don't have mentors. We don't have role models.
Maybe that's where programs like GhMeansBiz must bring us there. Because young people are looking for mentors. We are looking for examples. Unfortunately, when we need models, it's like they are all in the US, they are all in Europe.
No.
Now we must know our own indigenous ideas, examples, and build them. You know, that we have had it before.
True.
And we can do it again.
And
build a future that create that consciousness that you must be remembered, not because you ate the best food, you drove the best car, but you are the one of the few that brought influence and impact. Somebody that history cannot be said and read without.
I cannot thank you enough. Reverend Dr. Kwabena Opuni-Frimpong, you never cease to amaze me with your intellect, your wit, demeanor, and your faith. Once again, GhMeansBiz is indebted to you. Thank you so much, and we wish you continued success with your television show. And what is the title?
What is next?
And when does it show?
Thursdays between 4 and 5. Then they do replay on Monday between 1 and 2.
I hope that one of these days I'll have the privilege of appearing on your show.
I know.
Can we do
You
a
see,
but
we must accept it. We are not in ordinary times.
That is
so
true.
Let's do it again and hope all River Market Trotro, people must accept
it.
And pray and hope that one day we'll get out of this challenge. God bless our homeland Ghana and make this dear country great and strong.
Thank you so
Indeed,
much.
Ghana must mean business.
It must. Thank you so much. Folks, never been disappointing, never has ceased to amaze me. Once again, your apolitical, factual, unbiased, and well-researched television show, Ghana Means Business. Thank you.